Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. We apologize. I know we're a couple of minutes late here. Thank you so much for waiting. We we actually started on time and something happened. We thought we were streaming, but we weren't. So for those of you who were kind enough and patient enough to wait, thank you. I think we've gotten all the technical difficulties out of the way, and let's begin. My name is Paula, and for those of you who are joining us for the first time today, I am a Brazilian Portuguese interpreter, and I've worked in various roles in the interpretation industry, both as an interpreter as well as in administrative roles. And so I believe that I bring a unique perspective to the many changes that are going on in the industry at the moment. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Ina Dubin. Ina, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Paula. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our third live stream. My name is Ina, for those of you who don't know me. I'm originally from Belarus, but I do not speak Belarusian. That's an interesting fact about me. I do not speak my own language because when I left that country, everybody spoke Russian there. It was still part of the Soviet Union, so that's all I speak. I speak Russian and English. That's my language barrier. But like Paula, I started in this industry a long time ago, started as an interpreter by pure accident and just grew to love this profession. And just like Paula, I moved on to from interpreting to different administrative positions and also carry unique perspective to all the latest industries that are all the latest changes that are going on in this industry. So again, welcome, and I'm really excited about what we have in store for you today.
Thank you so much, Ina. I was just telling Ina a little while ago that this is something new that I have learned about Ina as well. I did not know that she didn't speak Belarusian. So that's really interesting. It's a nice little fun fact to know about you. Is it very different? The Russian and the
Um,
Belarusian, are they very different?
a little bit different, yes, a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Okay.
I could
Okay.
probably understand, but just like Ukrainian, but some words are different.
Okay, well, that's awesome. So, guys, again, thank you so much for being here with us. We are so excited about what we're bringing you today. But before we start, I always forget this part. Before we start, please, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to our channel. You know, it's completely free to you, but it makes a world of a difference to us. And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell because in addition to these live streams every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, in addition to this, we will be posting other videos throughout the weeks. And we'd love for you to get notified and not miss any of them. We're really starting to gear things up and get things going, and we're looking forward to just getting all of this content into your hands as soon as possible. And in addition to that, don't forget to like and share. We really need to get the word out about Verbatim. So we really thank you guys if you could help us out with those things. So Ina, last week we gave an overview of the four pillars of Verbatim. And we really believe that this is what makes us uniquely poised to be able to bring about effective change to the industry. It's these four pillars, right? And in that discussion, we broke down the first two pillars, the interpreter community, as well as professional development through education and training. And today we'll be looking at the third pillar. And this is so exciting. And I really can't wait to hear you talk about it. So over to you, Ina.
Thank you, Paula. I'm really excited, guys, to tell you about our franchise program. This is the program that designed to empower professionals just like yourself to take the next step in your career and establish your own business, growing business within the interpreting industry. This is an opportunity that it's ideal for individuals who are passionate about interpreting and who wish to mentor and train the next generation of interpreting professionals. Like I mentioned before, I worked as an interpreter to start with in this profession, and then I moved into various administrative roles. And one of the roles, thanks to Paula, was a trainer. And when Paula extended this opportunity to me, first I thought, I don't know if it's really for me, but I'm going to go ahead and try. And the more I did it, the more I loved it. I really loved sharing what I learned as an interpreter with other interpreters, sharing my experiences. So I hope that everyone who takes an opportunity of this program grows to love it too. So we are going to look at key fundamentals of this program, and we are basically going to cover what we are going to do for you within the program, what are your responsibilities going to be as a franchisee, and of course, how you are going to benefit from this program. So first, we're going to talk about what we provide into the program. So as part of our education and training pillar, we are going to offer various courses, very comprehensive courses. As you can see on the screen, we are going to offer 40-hour courses. We're going to offer 80-hour course, 130-hour course, and 180-hour course program. So you can see a lot of educational materials is coming up. We are going to talk about content of the courses later, but this is just kind of an overview of what we have in store for you for later. So we are also going to offer, as part of this program, we are going to offer the platform in all the course materials. So all the courses are going to be online, partly online. I'm going to explain later the other part. And your students are going to have access to the courses through our learning management system. As we're going to cover later, your part is going to come on Zoom. So your students are going to have access to our Zoom platform as well as yourself. We are also going to provide course administration, which includes the course content. So we are going to develop everything for you. You don't have to worry about any content. We are going to develop all the course on content online, as well as the live session scenarios. We are also going to accept payments on your behalf. So if you recruit students who want to learn, you don't have to worry about the fact how they're going to pay me. You know, all of this is going to be done through us and our platform. And in the end of the program, of course, we are going to issue the certificates. We are also going to run administration as far as running reports, so you don't have to worry about that. We are going to see how your students progress, if they haven't complete any assignments, if they're not progressing quick enough in the course, and we're going to let you know, and you as a trainer will be able to communicate with your own students regarding that. And of course, we're going to provide the marketing support. We are going to create an initial flyer advertising the course, and then you are free to advertise it through your own social media channels. So however you want to, you know, pass on the flyers, the physical flyer, advertise on your social media, give it to all your contacts, it's up to you. Okay, and we are moving to the next slide. And now we're going to discuss what you are going to provide to us as a franchisee. So you are going to be responsible for the live trainings of the courses. You are going to be conducting scenario-based live trainings. As I mentioned, the live scenarios are going to be provided by us. And you are going to be doing it on Zoom. So again, we are going to be, you will be scheduling your own sessions and just letting us know, and we will be scheduling sessions on the Zoom platform. We're also going to be providing, like I said, that we're going to be providing the promotion of courses, initial promotion, but then you are going to be responsible for the rest of us. So whatever is your preferred method of advertising, go for it. The more you recruit, the more is beneficial for you. And you are going to be responsible for completing our Train the Trainer course. So in order to become part of the franchisee in being able to teach the course or any of our courses, you will need to go through one of our Train the Trainer course that we will discuss later. And if you are part of our association, we will offer you a discount for this course.
Right.
Okay. And finally, let's talk about the benefits to you and your earning potential. So we have a tiered earning structure that allows you to maximize your income based on student enrollment. So basically, guys, the more you recruit, the more students you bring, the more money you make. Okay. So we are studying the first year is from 1 to 20 students. For each student that you bring from 1 to 20, you will receive 45% from the cost of the course for each student. And we are going to take the 55%. Then the next year is 21 to 40. So for each student above 20, from 21 to 40, the split will be 50-50. So again, you can see the more you bring, the more you make. And then once you bring 41 or more, the split becomes even better for you. It's going to be 55% per student, and we only take 45%. So the power is in your hands. The more you recruit, the more you sell, the more money you can make, and you can really, really grow your business. Additionally, if one of your trainees really likes the program and want to do this themselves, you can refer them to us, and you will be receiving a referral fee for each student that they recruit. Okay. So as you can see, this is an opportunity for you to pass on your trade, to teach others this wonderful industry, and build your own business.
Thank you so much, Ina. And, something that makes me really excited about this model is one of the things that we had discussed last week briefly, and we'll be talking more about it next week. Is the situation that we're seeing with so many interpreters going to vendors, and simultaneously a lot of these companies looking into AI, right? And one of the things that we're really concerned about is that as this happens, we're going to see interpreter quality go down because most of the time vendors do not invest in high standard trainings. And as that quality goes down, those mistakes will go up and AI will look more and more attractive to hospitals. And so one of the ways that we curb that is through education. And by doing this franchise system, first of all, yes, you get to make money off of it. And something that I think is really exciting, Ina, is that we're not charging the super high
Exactly.
prices that
Hmm.
a lot of well, that basically all of the education and training
Hmm.
companies charge, right? So our prices are going to be really affordable. Like, guys, I'm talking like
Hmm.
half of what most of these companies are charging. And in some cases, even less than half. Like we're at like
Hmm.
60, 70% of what some of these companies are charging. So it will be very affordable. We've really taken into account, and we're still finalizing those numbers, but we're taking into account the fact that y- we're not just going to have US based people buying these courses. The fact that many of you are outside of the US. And as you try to bring people in to take these courses, you're going to be dealing with students who are outside of the US. And so we're really thinking about how do we make it easy for you to bring people in, easy
Yeah.
for you to teach, and easy for the interpreters to pay because it's really important to us that we democratize this industry,
Hmm.
that it's not just the interpreters who can pay for a $1,500 course that have the education and the training, that it's everyone, no matter how where you live or how much money you make. We are working really, really hard to make it affordable and accessible to everybody. That is so important to us. And so the neat thing about this franchise system is, yes, it allows you to make some money, but if you know, 20, 30,
Hmm.
50, 100 of you start offering courses, each in your countries, each in your languages, what's going to happen is that we're going to be setting a standard for the industry.
Hmm.
We're going to have interpreters from all over the world going through our trainings. And those of you who have done our trainings know that we are big on quality. We are big on
Hmm.
those interpreter standards. We're big on making sure that our interpreters are the best trained interpreters in the industry. And we recently spoke to someone at an LSP, and we were talking to them, and they mentioned that they were only hiring interpreters from a company that we had worked at because they were the best trained interpreters in the industry. And I was so proud because I was like, yes, we trained them. So
Yes, yes.
we we
Yeah.
work really hard, and we
Mhm.
are working very hard behind the scenes. Some of these things aren't coming out as quickly as we wanted them to, and it's because we really are just trying to keep that quality. So,
Mhm.
and I'm sorry, I said too much, Ina. I was going
No,
to
no,
ask you a
no, no.
question.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, I was gonna say the same thing that for you, for those of you guys that are really excited about doing this, but thinking, okay, how am I going to promote this? How am I going to sell this? How am I going to recruit the students? If they cannot afford it, that's exactly what Paula said. These courses are going to be very affordable. We know how important education and training is in our industry, and we know that we have um, the people in all over the world. And so we do want to make it accessible because education should not cost much. And that's our goal. Good content for very affordable prices. And as Paula said, hopefully with your help, we will be able to reach people that we otherwise, me and Paula, cannot reach because we just simply don't know them. But you know them, and we can educate more people through means like that. We are going to talk about the cost in our later streams, maybe next week or week after next, but we are planning to start around maybe end of spring, early summer, because as you can see, our goals are very big. It takes a lot of time to develop a 180-hour course. So we're working as hard as we can, but we promise that we will have this, and we will communicate more and more about it. Many of you have already completed the form, and I don't know, Paula, can we put the link again? Or I think we have a link on
Yes,
our YouTube channel as well. So
yes.
if you haven't already, please sign up, complete the Google form. You will get a free membership for a month for our association. And with this, if you want to be part of the franchise program, that's opens the doors for a lot of discounts for you. So go
Mhm.
ahead and do this. And for those of you that already completed the form, we are going to be, as we're working closer to launching the franchise program, we will be contacting you again, confirming that you indeed want to do this. And we will have a lot of meetings for those that want to be a part of this program. Um,
And I see that there's a question here from
mhm.
Carlos. So this is a course that will prepare us to become trainers. So for those of you who want to um, come on board with the education and training franchise, yes, we will put you through our training program so that you will know exactly what to do, exactly how to do it. We want this to be really standardized across the industry so that it doesn't matter who they're getting this course from, they are getting the best quality that's possible. And so we will be training you guys and making sure that you know what to do. And
Mhm.
like Ina said, we're going to be covering the costs for the platform, the content creation, the content, and really you just come in and partner with us as trainers. So we're asking that, and we'll talk about this more later on, but that you train in the language pair you speak, right? So if you speak Spanish, you'll be training people who speak Spanish so that you can do those assessments back and forth. You can do those practice scenarios back and forth between the two languages. And so if you speak Arabic, you're going to be doing it in Arabic and English. If you speak Russian, Portuguese, and so you're able to really reach your community with these trainings, and we're really excited. Now, I just want to make sure that we make this really clear. We talked a little bit last week about the membership, right? So the membership, that first tier of membership, it's just $12 a month. You become part of the community. We're going to have an app where you can talk to each other. And as part of that membership for $12 a month, you get 6 free courses every year, and that includes HIPAA, fraud, waste, and abuse, things like interpreter best practices, medical terminology, note-taking skills, sensitive calls, and every year you keep 2. So there's 2 courses that you need to take every year, which is the HIPAA and the fraud, waste, and abuse. So those will be renewed and updated, but they don't really change much from year to year. But then there's the other 4 courses, which every year you'll get new courses. And so we're really excited to be offering those, and those are free to everyone who joins the association. And so I just want to make it really clear because I don't want you to think that we said it was free last week and now we're talking about selling these
Mhm.
other courses. So we are keeping our word to you. Those courses will always be free to our members. But I will tell you this, these larger courses, this, 80-hour medical interpreter course, 130-hour medical interpreter course, 180-hour, the prices we are going to be offering them to you are just insane. They're going to be extremely, extremely affordable. And that is only at that price to VerbatUm members. Anyone who is not a member will be paying full price. But to those of you who are members, it will be that reduced cost. And of course, if you want to be able to join us in the franchise, you also have to be a member. So if you're not a member, you can't be in the franchise
Mhm.
program. So keep those things in mind. So I think
Yes,
that's
exactly.
it. Is there any other questions? Okay. I don't think so. So we're going to move on to the next opportunity. And just to give you guys an idea, the reason we came up with these opportunities, the reason we came up with these ideas for the franchise and education and training. And the next one, I'm going to give a brief overview, which is the vendor franchise. The reason we're coming up with these things is because um, we have to have the ability to empower you. And, everybody talks about that. You see all of these associations and they say all these great things and they have all these conferences and they come in and they talk to each other and yet it's never something concrete. It's never something that you can come alongside and you can say, okay, how do I make money with this? How do I start a business with this? What can I do? And so for us, it's not just about, talking about the theory or talking about all of these lofty ideas. It's about actually having practical, concrete offerings that we can bring to you that you can take and you can build a career with, or you can build a company with, and you can run with, and you can actually start earning more money. And so, this is really important to us because we really do care and we really do want to empower you. So, with that said, let's look at the other franchise that we wanted to share with you guys, which is the VerbatUm vendor franchise. And so this is something that I'm really excited about. Um, this is not ready yet, just like the other franchise. These things are going to be coming out closer to the end of spring, maybe early summer. And you know what? If some of these are ready before then, we'll launch them before. But we want to set expectations so that we're not over promising and underperforming. So I'd say look out for it around the end of spring, early summer. But we may get it to you much sooner than that. But just keep that in mind. So let's look at the vendor opportunity. Um, Trying to collect my thoughts here. Interpreting is such an incredible career, and I think that anyone who's worked as an interpreter does it because they love it, and I'm sure you guys love it, but I think a lot of times as interpreters, especially when you've been doing it for a long time, you get to the point where you just want to do more, right? You want to grow, you want to improve, and so, whether it's in the area of education and training or in the area of being a vendor. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever considered it? Maybe not, but I know that all of us right now are really shocked at the extremely low rates and the lack of professionalism and respect that not all, but a lot of vendor companies are showing to interpreters. And there are some great vendor companies out there. that take really good care of their interpreters. We've had the pleasure of working with a couple that, they were just lovely and took good care of their interpreters, didn't have high turnover rates. But that's not the industry standard. That's kind of the exception to the rule. And so as we think about these things and we look at it, and maybe you're looking at it, and maybe, you're kind of tired, you're fed up and you're angry at how you're being treated by these vendors. And maybe you're thinking, hey, what can I do? How can we change this? I see it all the time on LinkedIn, people posting, oh, this is the offer I got from a vendor, and they're upset and they're angry, and they should be, but and it's okay to vent. It's okay to put it out there. It's actually good that you guys are putting it out there, that you guys are exposing it and you're saying, hey, this is what's happening. But we need to be able to do something more than that, right? We need results. We have to see results. And so as we thought about this, the thought occurred to us that we would love to partner with vendors who hold our quality standards, who provide their interpreters with exceptional professional development through education and training, and who pay their interpreters a decent, fair wage. And the more we thought about it, we thought, well, what better way than to partner with our VerbatUm members so that they can start their own companies? And so we came up with this idea because if we can't change the way the industry does business, then let's change the business people who are in the industry. Let's put interpreters in
Mhm.
those positions. And so, if you're passionate, if you're competent, and you really want to start something, and it takes a lot of work, but if you're ready to do this, we're ready to partner with you. And so, if this interests you, this is kind of what you would bring to the table and what we would bring to the table, right? So on our end, we would provide the language proficiency assessments. So, oftentimes when a new interpreter comes in and you're going to hire them, you need to check, what is their English like? What is their Spanish like or their Arabic like? So, we would provide the language proficiency assessments. We would also provide top tier candidate assessments. And this is where we test their interpreting skills. And we make sure that they're doing a good job for the industry that you are hiring for. So if you're hiring for medical interpretation, we would do a medical candidate assessment. If you're hiring for customer service or legal or, just general industries like 911, immigration and finance and so much more, we would test for those, right? You'd have a built-in recruiting pool. Remember last week we talked about or the week before last, how expensive it is for LSPs to bring in new interpreters. It's around $400-$500 per interpreter just to recruit them. And with VerbatUm, with you, the interpreters, joining the association, then those of you who are opening these vendor companies, you can pull interpreters from our vendor, from our interpreter pool and not have that expense, right? And so you know that these are people who are being trained by us, who are being assessed by us, and who've passed our very strict quality standards. And so we'll also provide your education and training through the association. And all of that means that what you will need to bring to the table, oh, and sorry, I forgot, and we'll provide quality assurance monitoring and support, right? And so all of these things are being provided by the association. So what do you need to provide in this situation? And let me change the slide. It's being a little bit finicky, guys. Bear with me. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry, guys, wrong slide. We're getting to that. Um, oh, it doesn't want to come on board. Why? Well, that's okay. I can tell you guys about it. Sorry, you're not going to have the visual. But what you'll bring to the table is you will bring the interpreter workforce management, right? So when you're a vendor company, you need to make sure that the interpreters are showing up for work, the interpreters are taking their calls, the interpreters are taking their breaks, and much, much more. It's much more involved than that. But for those of you who have experience in this field, maybe you've worked at other LSPs where you've been managers or supervisors in the interpreter management side of things, and you know how it works, and you know what you need to do, and you feel that this is a good fit for you, we will come alongside of you and we will provide the education and training, the quality assurance, the candidate assessments, and the recruiting needs that you have. And what we ask in return is that you treat those interpreters well, that you pay them a fair wage, and that you will be an ethical, respectful vendor company that is okay with maybe making a little bit less profit on the per interpreter count, but that you know that you're paying your interpreters a wage that you would like to receive. Because as an interpreter, you know that, what's being offered is just not cool. So if you have a passion for the industry, for your fellow interpreters, for doing the right thing, and you want to partner with a company that is going to be sure to bring in that quality, and you want to do a great job for the LSPs that you're going to contract with, and for the patients that we provide services to in medical interpretation and in all the other industries, um, we'd love to partner with you. So that's the vendor program, and we will have more information. And this is also going to be available in the coming months, only for those of you who are members of VerbatUm. And with that, let's move on to the third offering that we're really excited about and that we think a lot of you are going to be excited about. In fact, somebody actually asked about this last week. And here we go. We will be offering a certified QA specialist training. So those of you like the person who made the comment last week who have always wanted to become a quality assurance specialist will really like this program. Um, we're going to offer training on how to conduct assessment development, language proficiency assessments, because those are done by the QA specialists, new hire candidate assessments, QA monitoring, including how to evaluate interpreter performance, how to score assessments, how to tabulate results, and how to write those QA reports. And we're not going to stop there. We're also going to provide training on how you can effectively communicate with interpreters and how you can deliver constructive feedback and offer coaching that fosters growth and improvement. Something that's really, really important to us is how we do these QA assessments and how you're trained to do QA assessments. And that's because quality assurance it often gets a bad rap. People usually aren't comfortable, right? Like, you're doing your job, you're interpreting, and then somebody's like eavesdropping on your call and they're listening and they're catching the little mistakes that may happen here or there, and it's nerve-wracking, and people don't like it, and people feel like when they get that call from QA, that QA is kind of out to get them, and that's not true. That couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that we need to have QA assessments, especially when it comes to medical interpretation, because we're dealing with people's health, with the health of the patients. We're dealing with their lives. There are calls that if you make a mistake on, it can lead to someone's death. It can lead to someone being injured. And so it really is important that we have these QA assessments and that we listen to these calls, and that if an interpreter is making a mistake, that we're able to correct it. And it's necessary, and it helps to foster growth, but it needs to be done correctly. And so that's why it's really important to us that within this training, we will help you learn how to effectively communicate, how to communicate in a way that's respectful and in a way that makes the interpreter feel like, you're on their side, and that they want to learn and they want to improve and they want to do better for you because they know that you have their back. They know that you're worried about quality and you're worried about them being the best version that they can be of themselves as interpreters. And so our goal here isn't just to train you on, how to catch people making mistakes. Our goal is to train you on how to evaluate how the interpreters are doing and then come alongside them and coach them and give them feedback. And if they need a little bit more help, then you can refer them to the education and training team, and we'll do the more in-depth trainings. But there is room for you to come alongside, partner, and uplift the people that you're providing quality assurance for. And that's the type of quality assurance that we want to offer here at VerbatUm, and we want to train you to offer. And that's really important to us. And the neat thing about this program is that once you get your certificate, yes, you can apply to other companies. Many companies need quality assurance specialists, and you can definitely apply to them. But as we grow and as we have these vendors partnering with us and these LSPs partnering with us, and as we need more and more quality monitoring, we'll be hiring as well. And guess who we're going to hire? We're going to hire those of you who pass our assessment with flying colors. So it just creates a really nice little loop where you can take these programs that we're offering and you can run with them and you can work for others with them. But as we grow and as you grow, we can grow together and we can have this like symbiotic relationship, which is something that we're really excited about because that's what we always loved. When we worked in education and training, it was so nice to come alongside of you guys. And we have such fond memories of all of the people that we worked with and interacted with and how we saw you guys come in and grow and learn. And Ina helped do the trainings where people who couldn't pass our assessments, and some of them had already tried 2, 3 times and had never been able to pass our candidate assessments. And they would come in and they would train for sometimes, 4, 5, 6 days. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden
So,
they were
yeah, we've had
able
7 days. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. And it just gave us such joy to be able to
Hmm.
do that. And so it's just really exciting to think of everything we can do if we come together. So these are some of the things that we're looking to bring to you. If you have ideas, if you have things that you've always dreamed of doing in the industry, or that you've thought of, oh, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Send them our way. We'd love to hear
Hmm.
from you. We're always looking for great ideas and always looking for ways that we can partner together because, I know I sound like a broken record, but there is no there is no time like the present time with all of the changes that are happening in the industry to take a new road, right? We're going down a road that's not great. It's not great for you, the interpreters. It's really bad for the patients. It's not great for the hospitals. Um, but guess what? We can do something here that kind of, how do I say this? Allows us to not waste this crisis and
Hmm.
allows us to bring something really great out of it, which is a new standard for the industry, new opportunities that have never existed in the industry before, and in a way that is accessible to everybody. We're not rich. I know that for me, it's expensive to go out and pay for a course and pay, $1,000, $1,500 for a course. That is something that is very expensive for me and is very difficult for me to do. And so I think for us, it's just really important that you know and that you understand that everything we're coming up with and all of these ideas, we are keeping that in mind and they will be very
Hmm.
accessible because we really do believe that as we make it accessible to you, it makes it possible for you to come in with us and it makes it possible for us to make the changes that we so desperately need to see. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, any thoughts, you can put them in the chat. We'll be reading them and answering them. And while you guys are typing, Ina, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add.
I just want to say that I'm really excited about all the programs that we're going to offer. The QA, what Paula was explaining, I didn't want to interrupt, but from my training days, I remember that when we were training you guys in the ones that participated in our trainings, you probably remember too, a lot of times we would have to give you comments, right? If we thought that you needed to do something differently, and you always took it very positively and were accepting. But from a lot of interpreters, the QEA was quite the opposite. So our goal is to make the QA be like a training to you, not the criticism. So, we're really in the vendor program, and of course our other franchise program. We're really excited about it. And one thing that I wanted to mention, tomorrow is a Valentine's Day, and we want to give you all our gift of extending our offer of the month free membership for another week, right, Paula? Another week. So you have the link in our channel. Go ahead and sign up for our free membership. We are going to launch everything March 1st. We are going to start with, I believe, HIPAA course in fraud, waste, and abuse. So by March 1st, if you signed up, you will have access to all of those courses, just being a member for free for 1 month.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So you'll have access. And you know what? There are a few things we didn't tell you guys about. We're not going to keep you much longer, but you will have access to HIPAA, fraud, waste, and abuse. Those courses will come out slowly as you go through them. We're trying not to overwhelm you guys and make you guys have to go through all these courses at once. So they will be on a schedule. They'll be coming into you each week. And in addition to the courses, you will also have access to the interpreter community. You'll also have access to webinars that we're so excited. We are going to have some great speakers who will be providing these monthly webinars for you. And you'll also have access to our YouTube membership channel. So whenever we're going to put content out, those of you who are members, you'll have access to our content before the general public does. And you'll also have access to, some things, reaching out to us, maybe joining us on a live stream. We would really love to start having some of you come on these live streams with us. Those of you who, would like to join us, we'd love to have you. And so there's all these little perks that we're working on. Of course, we'll be advocating for you. You'll be part of that as well upon coming in. And the affiliate program. So once you become a member, if you bring other people in, for everyone who you bring in, who signs on and stays with us, you get a month free. So if you bring in, we're giving you the first month free, which starts in March. So that's one. And then if you bring us another 11 people, guess what? You get a whole year free of VerbatUm. And so we're, hoping that you guys get really excited. Feel free to share what we're saying. Those of you who have YouTube channels, if you want to, mention what we're doing, you can talk about us. We don't have any problem with it. So just spread the word, get it out there, and let's do this. Let's do this together.
Yes, that's right, Paula. And like Paula said, spread the word. This is the courses that we're about to launch. That's not the coincidence that we're starting with these courses, because these are the courses that everybody needs. And if you are not working for a company right now, and a lot of companies, even if you're working, a lot of companies are not offering, vendor companies, for example, not offering education and training anymore. But on the other hand, they require you to be HIPAA certified. So this is a great opportunity for you to join the association for a very low cost and get access to all of these courses that you ultimately need. And you don't really need to pay, a lot of money for it. It's just going to cost you the membership with us, along with other benefits that you're going to gain.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Ina, because I don't know how many interpreters know this, but HIPAA, this is a course that is required, right? All interpreters in an LSP or in a vendor company are required by federal law to complete HIPAA. Now, the way a lot of companies get around this is they'll just write, um, like they'll get a sheet of paper and they'll just write about HIPAA and they'll have you sign that. And it's common for companies to have you sign that when you're first hired because sometimes there will be a gap of a few days or maybe a couple weeks between when you're brought in and when you finally take a HIPAA course with that LSP, if it offers it. I know that where we were at, we used to do that, right? So an interpreter would come in as a new hire. They were immediately enrolled in HIPAA because we wanted to make sure that they got that done as soon as they came in. But just in case it took them a few days to take that HIPAA course, we did have them sign a piece of paper that gave them all of the information about HIPAA, but that was just to hold them over for a few days until they took the actual course. So a lot of ethical companies will do that. But there are companies that they don't want to invest in actually having you take a HIPAA course. And so what they'll do is they'll have you just sign a piece of paper that has all of the information about HIPAA, and that's it. They consider that the course. But the reality is that, you really should be trained and and really what the hospitals are expecting is that you are undergoing
Mhm,
training in HIPAA. And so I know that LSPs, vendors, they love to see interpreters coming in who, are applying for a job who have a certificate for that year because that needs to be renewed every year. Most of you know me from my time in education and training, but the last 2 years I was working in interpreter compliance. And that was something that we had to make sure that every year that we were compliant with federal law and that every year our interpreters were taking that HIPAA course. And HIPAA and fraud, waste, and abuse were two that we were always trying to get you guys to take. And so the reality is that as we see these changes happening in the industry, and as more and more and more interpreters are laid off, as more and more interpreters are looking for jobs, I go on my LinkedIn and it's like half of my interpreters, I have about 1,500 interpreters, I think, on LinkedIn, and I'd say more than half have the open to work sign, right? So just think about it this way. A HIPAA course, you're probably not going to find anything for less than
mhm,
$250. With VerbatUm, you're going to be able to pay $12 a month and you're going to get a HIPAA course. And the reality is that when you go and apply for a job, if they have two candidates, one turned in a HIPAA certificate that is, for 2025, it was just done, they are compliant, and then the other interpreter who's applying for the exact same position doesn't have that certificate, they're going to go with the one who has the certificate. And so, we really want you to start thinking about the fact that as more and more interpreters are looking for work, you need to be able to distinguish yourself. And the way you're going to distinguish yourself is by having these certifications, things like HIPAA, things like, if you're in the medical interpretation, things such as medical terminology, medical specialties, best practices, sensitive calls, all of these things make the company know that they're bringing in someone who has been trained, who has gone through professional development, who knows what they're doing, and who they're not going to have to spend a lot of time and energy and resources retraining, coaching, and frankly, going back to what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where these companies are spending $400 or $500 to bring one interpreter in, well, they don't want to have high turnover, right? So if they bring you in and you don't have any certificates, you don't have any training, and it's kind of a risk to bring you in because what if you're not a great interpreter? They just spent $400 or $500 to bring you in, only to have QA listen to your calls and 2 months down the road say, "Hey, we can't keep this person. This person's doing an awful job. They failed the last two QAs or the last three QAs that we did with them. You need to let them go." And now that money is lost. And so just keep that in mind. And that's really why when we came up with this membership, idea, at just $12 a month, we said, let's give them these 6 courses every year, because with these 6 courses, you guys are gonna have everything you need to make a really great impression on those people who are hiring interpreters. And I mean, really, guys, it's not a lot of money. Like, you can't even buy 1 course,
Mhm.
for what we're charging for an entire year, and you're getting 6 courses. So, just consider that, and if you're not sure yet if you want to join, fill out the form. Get the first month free. See what we're doing, see what we're about, see what our courses look like. It's free, so,
Mhm.
don't
Yes,
pass that
definitely.
up. So, just make sure you fill that out.
Yes. And one thing that I wanted to mention about the franchise program and all the courses that we are going to be offering through that program, they're going to be accepted by NBC CCHI. So, your trainees, once they finish the course and pass it successfully, they will be able to get NBC CCHI certification if they choose to see through the exam with our certificate. I'm not sure what's happening with Paula. Paula, are you still there? Okay, let's see. While Paula is, I guess, rejoining us, anybody has any questions? Okay. Okay, guys, if you can still hear me, I'm not sure if we're still streaming, but thank you very much for joining. We wanted to make it shorter, and hopefully we did. It only took 50 some minutes as opposed to hour and a half with previous sessions. So if you don't have any questions, just keep watching all of our channels. YouTube channels will be posting this video. If you didn't get to watch it till the end or from the beginning, we're going to be posting it on YouTube, on our LinkedIn page, and we'll also be posting the form, the special that we promised for Valentine's Day. Okay. Thank you very much for joining. We will see you next Thursday at 7:30. Bye-bye, everyone.
Guys, I don't know if you can still see us or hear us. I apologize for that. We have a storm going on around here, and my internet just the lights, everything went out. So I apologize for that, and thank you so much for being with us. I don't see Ina. I don't know if it kicked Ina out. Um, so I don't know where you guys were at. I don't know if she finished. But thank you so much. I don't know if this is going to happen again, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for being here. We're just so grateful for you guys. And if you have any questions, if there's anything we didn't answer, again, I apologize for the technical issue that we're having here right now. If there's anything we didn't answer for you, please send it our way, put it in the chat. We do read all of your comments. We will answer all of your comments, and we'll be back next week, and we will have even more information and news for you. Um, and again, thank you so much for your time, and have a lovely night. Bye, guys.